right, there we are. Hello, everybody. Hi. How is everybody doing today? I'm gonna get that closed captioning going. There we go. The cats just went outside, so no cats on stream at the moment. Hopefully, we'll get them for you at some point. I've been propping up, they've got a cat door, and I'm propping it open because they haven't figured out how to work it yet, because there's actually 2 in a row, and they have to do them. So I can understand the hesitancy, but I've got it propped open, and there's a breeze coming through right now. I'm like, ooh. So I've got my cup of tea. It'll be nice and warm. I'll be fine. So how is everybody else out there? It is actually a beautiful sunny day. It really is quite lovely. The cats have been lounging in the sun. I've been very reticent to close the blinds for streaming because it's been lovely. But we went for a walk. We've been trying to get better to work on my hip and just basically overall strengthening. So we've been trying to go for walks on a regular basis. Somewhat slightly inspired actually by an aunt who came and visited us last week. And she is going for a 30-day walk with family members. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Maybe I should... I can't walk necessarily for 30 days, but I can maybe go out for a kilometer or 2 every day. So that's what I'm trying to do. We're trying to get out every day and do a little bit of a walk. So we're working on it. You know, small progress. Yeah, so we went for a walk today. It was lovely. There's a dike road, which is basically a dike with a road on top, and so there's lovely, you know, there's sheep and there's birds and there's trees and, you know, all of that. And it's quite lovely. So we've been checking out that area. So, all right. Well, so for anybody who might be just checking in and going, well, what is going on here? Welcome to the LOTRO stream on twitch.tv/LOTRO stream. That's where I'm streaming right now. So if you're looking ahead at this or looking at this in the future, that's where I was when this happened. And that's where I will be again in your potential present, my future. We are, because I will post this video to YouTube. So people might, because every once in a while, somebody will come across the video on YouTube and they're like, what is this game? And I'm like, this is LOTRO. So for people who are not aware, what are you watching right now? It is Lord of the Rings Online. Oh, I just realized I have the wrong server up because last week, right. We were doing the thing with the stuff. So let me change that. We were over on the Laurelin server because I was doing the treasure hunt. But today we're on Treebeard. So let's see. Let me scooch that back over a little bit. I like that I can see live what it looks like. There we go. How's that? There we go. Now we're on the Treebeard server, as you can see up in the top of the screen. So yes, we're on Lord of the Rings Online. We are on a server that is called Treebeard, where we go nice and slowly. We take our time. We are not so hasty, and I quite enjoy that. So what we're going to do today, so normally what I do is I focus on, just in general on my streams, I focus on things like festivals and other fun little side events that happen. So when we're in between festivals, as we are right now, until I think like June 8th or 16th or something around there, we are in between festivals. And so it's like, okay, well, what other mischief can we get into, right? So that's where we are right now. So let's see. So yes, sorry, I said hello to the folks in chat. I see before, and Aaron Bard and Sandy, hello. Aaron Bard says there's a map somewhere online that charts staged walks that would take you the equivalent distance of Frodo's quest. Oh yes, I've done things of that sort. Yeah, where you had to, basically I did like a half marathon, but you do it like, you know, a little bit each day. And I got these really cool medals from it. And I mean, they're huge, chunky things, like this big with this wide ribbon about, you know, about that wide. That went around, you know, it was, and so I hung them up on the wall, or I had, one time, there was one where there was like 4 pieces, and they all came together to make one large medal, and you could get a little holder for it. So I did that, and that was really neat, and I did enjoy that, and I had like, every time you finished one, you could like print out like a little certificate or something like that. So I had those up on the wall, and that was cool. But when we were moving from the US to here, and I was kind of going through my stuff, and I realized that the medals were cool, but they basically just sat in a drawer, and I would look at them and I'd be like, well, that was neat. And then they would go back in the drawer. So I'm kind of, yeah, they just became clutter, basically, was what it was. I mean, they were cool clutter, but they were just clutter. And so I've decided I'm not going to do any more of those anytime soon because I don't, I just don't want to have a bunch of stuff that isn't like somehow, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not my jam right now. We'll see though. I mean, I do have my huge LOTRO wall, which you can't see, but like what I look at when I'm sitting here talking to you all, or just on my computer in general, because my computer's right here, is I've got an old Lord of the Rings calendar from like, I don't know, the 50th anniversary or something like that. And so the calendar is quite old, but I just flip it each month to the next month, and it's got like little details about, there's the illustration, there's little details about it. It's really cool. And then I've got a map of Middle Earth, very much like the one we see in the game. And then I've got like a white tree of Gondor, a wood carving. And then we've got like an old Lord of the Rings. I've seen it as a poster. It's reasonably well known, the illustration. It's got Gandalf in the middle and like a couple hobbits around him. And then there's like a frame, illustrated frame around him with various things. And then I've got a wood carving that some folks did back in the 1970s, friends of the family kind of thing, and it's like smog over Lake Town. Well, it doesn't exactly say it's smog over Lake Town, but that's really what it looks like. So, I mean, I could do that walk thing again and get medals, and I could put them up here. So that might be interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Although I'd rather get artwork. Well, it depends. It varies. So Dame Hypatia, yay! Finally, I'm early enough here. Good job. Welcome. We just got started. I've been rabbiting on. Right before I came on, I was like, you know what would be a great idea right before I start streaming? I should shove some food in my mouth, because that is what you want right before you go on the stream. So I was like nomming on a little cake that they get every so often. There's like a new gluten-free product at the store, and so they they put a little notice on my app or whatever. And so I was like, hey, cool, let's give that a go. So I yeah, okay. Before I went to the store today, and I put them on the grocery list, and he found them, so that was awesome. So I'm trying these. It's funny because it has the shape and look of like a Twinkie. I thought, is this like a gluten-free Twinkie? But there's no filling. It's just the cake. And it's not even spongy cake. It's just like regular cake. But it's tasty. I actually cut it in half and added some Hagelslag, which is chocolate sprinkles. Because everything's better with chocolate sprinkles. All right, so what are we going to do today? Today, I thought what we would do, since we're between festivals, as I started to say before, is there's this allegiance system that you can do. And I think you have to be pretty high level, but for some reason, the Dwarf Allegiance of the Zhélruka, no, that's Zhélruka is shredded sauerkraut, thank you, is sauerkraut in Dutch. Let me see. Okay, if I go to character and then I go to allegiances, here we go. Yes, the Zhélruka Clan. That sounds a little bit like Zirkle. That we have access to, even though we are not in, like level 140 and whatnot. So yeah, so we're gonna do some more stuff with that. We've been doing a little bit of stuff with them, so we're gonna keep on trudging along. Aaron Bard says his audio seems out of sync with the video. Other people are saying it looks good, so yes, definitely give it a little, just, close the window, open it up again if you haven't already done that. Sometimes just that will do, we'll fix it. And yes, Dame Hypatia says, I love how the Dutch simply put the sprinkles on their bread. Perfect. Yeah, it's a nice breakfast thing, isn't it? Although it's still a bit sweet for me, even though I'm from America where everything has sugar. But I've decided to maybe not eat sugar with every single thing. So what I've been doing is like, when I'm like, oh, I really would love something sugary, instead of going and having like a chocolate bar or something, I don't know. I'll go and grab like a bowl of yogurt, which has sugar in it, but it's really tasty. And it's like honey and walnuts, and put some sprinkles on that. So I do like that. Oh, Egg Arthur, thank you, has popped in and said the Mordor allegiances are available at level 110. The Zhélruka, which we have here, are basically linked to missions, the mission system, and so that means that they become available starting at level 20 and so on. So that's what we've started on a little bit, and we're plotting our way through there. So I'm gonna, before we run off to their hall out in the middle of really nowheresville, hang on, let me show you. Like, they are, keep going. Can I go further? No. Okay, so they're out in the mountains. Yeah, north of Rovanian, I think. I think they are up in like, yeah, like in the Gundabad Mountains, or they're in the Erebor Mountains. Or maybe the Iron Hills. Yeah, I think they might be in the Gundabad Mountains, where this Zhélruka thing is happening. So it's far, far away from where we are. Far, far away. So I'm gonna go ahead and check these crates while we're here. So where did you grab that window, asks Aaron Bard. What window? What window are we talking about? Oh, the Allegiance window. Maybe that's what you're asking about. If you go down to the bottom where you've got that little carrot, which is like down at the end of your bar, and that'll bring up that long list of menus, some of which is behind my screen here. And you go to Character, and you hover over Character, and you scroll down, and Allegiance is there. There's another way to get to it also. There's a keyboard shortcut, I think, or it might be on... No, that's the map one. It might be on the circle. That's hope. I'm very hopeful. Decoration, housing, day of time. It's not here in this area. So either I'm missing it, or it's not on the mini radar. Let's see, how's my window looking? We are set for another 10 days. I think we're good. We won't, we don't need to have a chat with Wenda yet today. Let's see, Eberron says you need to push track in the Allegiance system. Oh, if I want to have it out here. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry too much about that then at the moment. All right, so we... Oh, I have a travel skill to get there. We picked up a travel skill at some point. So I'm going to go back to my character, go back to Allegiances, and yeah, so if I click this track button, it puts, there it is, it puts the bubble there, and I can see, well, sure, let's have that on here for right now, why not? If I click on this, I believe that's the travel skill. Are you already there? Yeah, it looks like you are. So before and I are going to run around and do this together. Yep, so travel to the hall of the Vérnozal. So that's funny, because we were talking about last time, I think, that Zal is basically probably the word for hall. So it's basically the hall of the Verno Hall. Little, you know, the redundancy department there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is... Well, oh, so I just thought I'd point out that in the tweet, I do a tweet every time before I stream, like a couple hours before I stream, kind of give people a heads up if they don't have one on their calendar and whatnot, and maybe they follow me on Twitter. And so this is like the image I put on the Twitter. So if you are coming in, hopefully this looks familiar to you if you're trying to figure this out. Egg Arthur says, you can put allegiances on your toolbar, but you don't believe it has a keybind. Okay, no worries. Okay, so I'm gonna go talk to Zova here in the middle, and Zova's gonna give me a Missions of Gundabad daily. So like go do 5, and then you get some goodies, which gives me reputation with the Allegiance. And then she's also got a weekly one, so do 20 missions of Gundabad over the course of a week, and I'll get even more. Which reminds me, we did some stuff before and I didn't actually open it. So they give me these boxes which have their allegiance points in them. And I haven't opened those, so maybe I should just do those right now real quick. All right, so let's see. So I've got this open here. We've got the circle up there at the top, so we've got a couple of ways we can keep an eye on what's going on here. And I'm on level 5 with them, so it says 5 out of 30 here in the little, not mallet, bunk bunk. It's not, well, it is a hammer, but it looks more like a, it's not a hammer. It doesn't look to me like a hammer or a croquet mallet. It looks like, why is the word escaping me today? Words are escaping me today. It's not pen, pineapple, apple pen. It's not that either. It's the thing you use like it as a judge, saying, you know, duk duk. Yeah, gavel. That's the word, gavel. Thank you. Oh my goodness, words. Yeah, Aaron had it there. An anvil. No, Basilowski wasn't looking for an anvil. Gavel. Gavel is the word I was looking for. Looks like a gavel to me. Maybe it's supposed to be a hammer. A Twinkie pen. Let's see. Agartha says, it's a shame that rep accelerators don't work for allegiances. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I hadn't tried, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to open this, and it's going to give me 1,000. Neato. So I just leveled up. Let's see. That says claimed. That says claimed, but I can scroll over some more. Haha! I can claim 2 tokens of the Zhélruka. Well, heck, who wouldn't want that? And there's that. Oh, it's under my face again. Well, the scroll bar is. No, it's right here. It's next to my face. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got 7 no, I've got 2 more tokens on level 7. Says I can claim? Oh, no, I can't claim it yet. Oh, it's telling me. It's teasing me about the future. All right, well, let's see what we can do about that. Here's another 1,000. All right, we're up to 15. Well, I've got 6 of these, and they're worth 500 each, so here we go. Boom. So you can watch that goes up, and the little swords go over my head, and the tracker says that I can now claim, for example, level 7 tokens. Yes, I am level 7. Good job, me. Let's see what else we got. We got another 500. Yeah, I know I could probably nom them all at once, but isn't it more fun just to watch it go? Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's the deed tracker, by the way. That's a plugin that I'm using. So every time I complete a deed, it's letting me know. And apparently each one of these levels is a deed. So that's kind of neat. Now, there's something else I saw. Oh, here's one. This one's 5,000. What? All right, you got ready for this? It's probably going to take me up like 4 levels. Up to level 11. Apparently there's no deed associated with that. All right, so we have, let's see, claim that. Oh, let's claim this. So here's, yeah, there's a chapter, I think it's like walking me through, well, maybe I shouldn't open that yet because I hadn't opened the previous one yet. Let's do this first. Where is it? I saw it, here it is. So we have this chapter 2, the mountain home. It says, your presence has been requested by Prince Ingor himself. Please make your way to him at the hall of Vérnozal in Gundabad. So I'm thinking I should open this. Oh, did it just give me a quest? Interesting, it just kind of like consumed. Maybe it was like, you better go do this. Let's see, allegiance, Gundabad allegiance quests. That's daily and the weekly. I don't know. Weird. At some point I'm like, we should probably like finish off the rest of these things. I have a trickle of old quests from various things that we've started on. Oh my goodness, I picked up Gisli's favorite when I was in Eredlund, the level 6 quest, because when you go to do the chain, so this is funny. So when you're doing the anniversary quest and there's like a chain of gift giving, one of the guys, one of the dwarf of an Eredlund area, if you go to give him a gift, he has the gift giving quest, but he also has the Gisli's favorite because Gisli is his son, and he wants to go make him some cave claw legs because his son's off, you know, working somewhere else, and he's very proud of him, and he wants to send him some food from home. And so I went ahead and picked up that quest so it would stop showing up as a ring, but now I have the quest. I could drop it. I could just drop it. Okay. Anyway, moving on from there. Do I have anything else in here? So now I'm kind of curious. Well, how do I know what I would like to know, the people in my fellowship, what are they working on in the Allegiance? Is that something that I have access to, that information? So, because I was like, because with quests, for example, the reason why my brain is going here, let's say, for example, this Missions of Gundabad Daily. Let me go and collapse these so they're not sticking out here. How it has a ring there, and the ring is all lit up in gold and says Affadil, who's in my fellowship, is on the same quest as you. So I know that we're both working on it. The Gisli's favorite, for example, there's a check mark. Affadil has completed this quest. So she did it, I haven't. Right? That character has done it, I haven't. This character, my character has not done it, because I switched characters. So that's why we did that a while ago. So that's why I was like, well, is there a quest in here that kind of tells me where I am in regards to, this business? Oh, here's another one you can see where it's like, Affadil is on the same quest and has completed all objectives. And there's a check mark for me also, basically meaning that I'm ready to turn it in also. So the pair of us have completed that, but we haven't turned it in. See, this stuff like this is really handy when you're running around in a fellowship and you can be like, okay, how close are we? Like, where am I in regards to my kinship members or fellowship members? For example, like in Moria, there's a Filgashan quest that I picked up, the General's Ring. You can see it's grayed out for Affadil. Affadil does not have this quest. Now, it's possible I could share it. That's a whole other thing. But so that way, so that's what I was looking for with an Allegiance quest. That's where my brain went, was like, well, is there some way I could look at Allegiance stuff and know what my fellowship members are working on? And the answer apparently is no. All right. Well, let's talk to Horan over here. Horan's got a ring over his head. Oh, because he has all the stuff today. You're far away. What you up to? Oh, you're talking to Prince Ingdor. I probably should go and talk to him. Can I? Oh, I've got a goat. That's right. I'm riding a goat. Dwarves like goats. I can ride a goat around here. All right. Let's talk to Prince Ingdor. Hey, bud. I have a goat. Chapter 2, the mountain home. He says, bah, look at this hall. It's like, I know we just moved in, but it is still a mess. How are we supposed to welcome travelers from far, near and far, when Vérnozal is still filled with dust and debris? Visitors from nearby will take one look and return to where they came from, and visitors from far away will curse us for our lack of hospitality. You must assist the Zhélruka and remove the broken crates and piles of debris from Vérnozal. Okay, I can do that. So that is a quest. Which Affadil is on the same quest as me. There we go. Everything is as it should be. We are in sync. I like it. All right, so now we're gonna run around, fix crates. Hey, I can do it while I'm on a goat. It's a very clever goat. And I can remove this pile of debris. Maybe the goat's short enough, I'm just like reaching down to grab things and just kind of grab stuff off the ground. Okay, so B4 is pointing out that apparently, yes, any Allegiance related quests, like this one, I can see what my fellowship members, where their standing is on that. But for Allegiance level, like I'm a level 11, I have no idea how Affadil is doing on that without just basically going and asking. Being like, hey, Affadil. Now, something that is worth pointing out is, yeah, that you, in order to get that quest from the prince, there was a certain minimum level I had to get to, and but the problem is I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know whether it was like 5 or 7 or 10. I don't know, because it showed up in my stuff a while ago. Yeah, so, oh, it might have been 5, and I'm like 11 now. So maybe a little behind on things. Whoops, that's a mailbox. I don't need to tidy up the mailbox. Alright, oh, we still need 4 and 5 more piles and piles of debris and crates. I can see why he might be like, hey, it's a little untidy around here. I feel like that sometimes. Earlier I was trying to, after you've sat on a couch for a while and the cushions start to kind of like squish in certain ways, and you're like, I feel like I'm not sitting as straight as I used to, that sort of thing. So I was like, all right, that was happening with our couch. So I took the cushions off and I was gonna, fluff them up, turn them around, squish them a bit, that sort of thing. And I'm like, well, this couch is dirty. So then I'm like, I guess I gotta vacuum it. And then, so it was one of those chains of events. But anyway, I'm on board here with the prince and his dissatisfaction with the way things are looking here. I ended up getting out like a dust broom and sweeping up the floor because the debris that was on the couch, and I took the stuff outside. I was just like, it's a good day to take pillows outside and shake them out. Aaron Bard says, it would be nice if there was a way for cleanup quests like this where we're tidying up, if it stayed cleaned up, if stuff doesn't then reappear. Now, some things do have that sort of thing. It really, but yes, in general, it comes back. We'll wave at our little hello. All right. Chapter 2, the mountain home.
Good work.
Good work. The hall is more welcoming already, and visitors will not be immediately consumed with disgust. This is an improvement. Now, what else do we need? Does the hall need? Well, it's a bit dim in here. Now that we would not be illuminating broken crates and dusty corners, we should brighten it up. Collect some coal in Vérnozal and add it to the braziers. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Sure. Awesome. I think I enjoy it sometimes when when our kin members are like, hey, I didn't know you could do that. Thanks for that. I appreciate bringing knowledge to the masses. Let's see, I think I need one more coal. Apparently the sun may be over this direction. There we go. Oh yeah, so Treebeard, the server, will have been around 2 years coming up at the end of June. It started on June 30th. What year is this? 23? So it started June 1st, June 30th, 2021. Was the first day. I believe it was, might have been noon. I know for Bombadil it was noon because like we sat at our computers and we're like, go, 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 waiting for it. Oh, thanks, before. So yes, Treebeard's 2-year anniversary is coming up. So we're gonna party. I'm putting together a musical event, and it'll start at noon Eastern U.S. time, which will be 6 o'clock our time. I figured it'd be nice if we could have it at a time when both U.S. and European time schedules worked out. And basically that means that Oceanic is going to struggle if they try to attend. And unfortunately, I have to add cold braziers. Oh, here's one. Because, you know, it's a 24-hour world, it's really hard to pick a time when everybody in the world could potentially be awake. So I was like, well, I feel bad for Oceanic, but I know we definitely have more people from like North America time zone, US time zones, and European time zones than Oceanic time zones. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna have to like pick 2 out of 3, I'll try and get the most bang for the buck there. So if anybody is watching from, you know, New Zealand, or is playing, I should say, in New Zealand or Australia or anywhere that part of the world, I do apologize. I did think about you, and I wasn't sure how to make it work. So I know with our kin, we had folks from basically what I consider kind of all 3 regions at one point, and so we would do canned activities, sometimes I would just schedule 2, you know, and have one of them be like, you know, because basically you could have somebody's morning, somebody's afternoon, or, well, somebody's morning, somebody's afternoon, evening, and somebody's overnight. So it's like, how do you schedule that? So, what's that? Yeah, yeah. So basically, well, do we have any brazers over here? Probably not. So I'm thinking, yeah, so we ended up doing a couple times. It was like, we had a party at like, the same with that kind of thing, like noon, and then another one at like, either really early for us or really late for us. And that way Oceanic could partake as well. I think it was early for us, because then it was like afternoon, evening for them. So anyway, the 30th, June 30th is a Friday this year. And I thought Friday is going to be possibly a little rough. People might have work, that sort of thing. So I scheduled it for the Saturday, which is the next day, so July 1st. So July 1st, we're having a party on the server. We're going to meet up at the festival grounds that are just north of Bree, the Breeland Festival grounds. So there's a horse at the west gate of Bree that you can take. It's a free horse. It just pops you right up there at the festival grounds. There's also a milestone there if you are a person with a plethora of milestones. You can always just set a milestone up there. I often do that when it's during festival. If I'm heading back there on a regular basis, I'll just set a milestone to the festival grounds, especially if I'm on somebody who's not a hunter. If I'm on a hunter, I just hunter travel myself to West Bree and then take the free horse. But if I'm not on a hunter, I usually will try and set like a milestone somewhere around there. It's often, it's awesome. It's makes it a lot easier. Yeah. So yes, party, woo! I like your little emotes there in the chat there, Sandy. That's awesome. So yeah, so we'll meet up at the by the stage, and I'm hoping we'll have some volunteers of people who will play music. 30 minutes or 60 minutes is the time frames that I'm asking people to sign up for, if possible. I'm assuming if we'll get a couple of people who sign up for 30 minutes at most. And I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, so he says, yes, this is quite a bit better. Now what else is missing? He says, there's nothing in the hall that welcomes travelers and notifies them that this hall belongs to the mighty Zhélruka Clan. A banner or 2 should suffice. Take these Zhélruka Clan banners and hang them in Vérnozal. Okay. Well, suitable spot for a banner? Let's do that. So basically, Treebeard is a subscriber server. Server. So you have to be like VIP or lifetime subscriber or something along those lines in order to have access to the server. Okay. So what a lot of people do on the free servers is they will create a whole bunch of alternate accounts and use those to create a whole band, which is, you know, pretty cool. But let's see, I've got 3 so far. And so it's really hard to get a band on Treebeard because everybody has to be VIP. And you know, your average person isn't gonna pay $100 a year or whatever to have just an account that is only there for playing music, right? Like that is unlikely to people. You know, people got a lot of stuff to spend money on these days. That might not be their first priority, and I totally get that. So what I'm expecting is we'll have individuals like myself, or you know, I might be able to get Affadil do some music with me. We've done music before, we enjoy it. It's just we haven't had a lot of time to do it together. So you know, that sort of thing where you get like solos and duos is what would be my guess. Is what we'll probably see of people who are interested in participating. Let's see, where? Oh, they're not showing up. Oh, how interesting. I thought they would show up on my radar. Okay, we're gonna go back up to that area. Oh, hey, I saw, where'd it go? I tabbed and now I've missed it. I tabbed right by it. I do that a lot. There's suitable spot. Aha, it's right at the top of the stairs. This sounds good. So yes, let's see. I'm playing on Treebeard, as is noted in the chat there. Let's see. There's another spot for a banner up here. There's gotta be some somewhere. And we're playing with the landscape difficulty, which is coming to the rest of the servers as of Wednesday, I believe. So that's kind of exciting. Oh, interesting. There's no spot there for me. Huh. No, I have 7 out of 12 done. Interesting. Yes, new account type, says before. Minstrel, musician. You can only play minstrels and you can't leave Retown. They're just available for playing music. That would be pretty awesome. I would like that. Because then we would get bans on Treebeard. So yes, as it stands, I don't expect to see a lot of people who normally do music sign up to partake because they might not have a character on Treebeard, because they themselves might not be VIP, and then also, oops, what did I do? Yeah, that's what I've got too. And they're not going to bring over their bands. So my best luck is people who already have accounts on Treebeard or already have VIP accounts and are interested in creating a character on Treebeard just to come and play music. Which would be awesome. But, you know, if anybody like wants to tell stories or do a poem or, you know, tell jokes, that's always fun. You know, bad puns, all of that, totally welcome. Ooh. Oh, funny. We've gone up and now they keep, oh, here's one. And then they keep showing up below us. So yeah, so I'm hoping some folks will put together like half-hour solo gig, you know. That would be nice. I figure I'll do half an hour or an hour. I can help fill the time. Anyway, and then after that, there is a there's an area in near the Breeland Festival grounds where you can play freeze tag, and it's a lot of fun. So I figure once we have run out of people who are doing music, so I should know ahead of time, like if who's gonna play music. Once we've run out of that, or people are tired, whatever, I'll have an idea of how long that will be. My hope is like 2 to 4 hours of music. That'd be really cool. But it's hard to say how many people are available on a particular Saturday. You know how it goes. Or maybe you don't. Running events, it's always hit and miss. It's a really interesting thing because one of the things I had to learn as I was doing events, I'm missing one. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, milestones, mailboxes. Yeah. I'll keep tabbing. Workbench. Anyway, so when you're doing some sort of a creative endeavor, like running an event, I consider that a creative endeavor because there's a lot of stuff to do. That one's already been done. Maybe selling your artwork, writing songs, writing a book. Like if you publish a book, you're performing music, you know, like at an event or something, at a venue. That the stuff that's important to you and makes you really happy and excited or whatnot doesn't necessarily, like, the people who care about you will care about you, but they won't necessarily care about that thing that you're doing. And so you might be like, you know, really excited and really looking forward to all your friends and family partaking in whatever it is that you've been doing, like, you know, everybody buying your new book or whatever. I don't know, is that safe? Can we jump? Okay. We're gonna try some stuff. Look away if you've got vertigo. I have all of my... Yeah, I made it. Hey, Prince Ingor, guess what I got? Gravity. Anyway. Anyway, my point is that the people who support you won't necessarily support the thing you're doing, even though you've poured what feels like to you is poured a lot of your heart and soul into it. And so you can't take it personally when people who care about you don't buy your book, or don't support your music, or don't attend your event. So it doesn't mean they care any less about you, it just means that it didn't really connect to them in the way it connects to you. So it was an interesting lesson to have to learn. Anyway, alright, so Prince Ingor says, yes, this hall proudly proclaims that it belongs to the Zhélruka now. What is that? You believe that raising Zhélruka banners may not be the most welcoming of sights for a newly arrived traveler. It's a symbol, the Zhélruka symbol is a symbol of honor. He takes a moment to regain his composure. Well, I suppose if Gundabad is to be our home, then the Zhélruka must acknowledge that it is to be a home for others as well. I do have one Longbeard banner here. Take it and hang it somewhere prominent. It'll do for now. Okay. Okay, we have displayed a Longbeard banner, and then there's the Zhélruka banner is like drifted off. But. Okay, yeah, like you're saying, like Erebor, like you were saying, like I wish that stuff would persist also.
I believe that
he says, look how welcoming that one Longbeard banner makes the hall feel. Are you sure it helps? He says, I am very welcoming, with or without a banner. But if you think the banner is important, I'll see that it stays. Now that we have made the hall of Vérnozal more inviting, perhaps you should put some of your other skills to use and assist Ozma and Horan with a mission. Okay. So, yes, go complete a Gundabad mission with either Scoutmaster Ozma or Horan. Funny enough, we've done that, but I'm happy to do it again. Yeah, let's go. Oh, hey, I didn't check my Hobbit present today. I have a silver Hobbit present waiting for me. It is a massive pile of silver scraps. Money, money, money. Cool. Alright, oh yeah, there they are. Like, I know Ozma and Horan around here. We were talking to them earlier, or looking at them. Alright, Horan. Wow, we have a bunch of options. Should we just start at the top? So we'll start with Crystal Conundrum.
Put your back to the past.
Yeah, we have.
And to the
so
wind.
the thing with missions is there's like a set, and like that set will be there that day. And then the next day it'll be a different set. And then it kind of cycles through like all these different sets, and then it comes back around and cycles through again. So we're probably hitting missions today that we did another day that we were in here, and we probably did them all. So these will all be ones that are familiar to me. And might be familiar to you, because I'm not sure if we did these on stream or not. Aaron Barton asks, so this is a quest group only available for those who have Gundabad content? I don't know. How did we get started here? I'd have to go back to the first stream that we started doing this, but hang on, let me get started in this mission. We stumbled into a cavern full of crystals, and the cave is abundant with gems. Can we retrieve some crystals for further inspection? Okay, so we're gonna go gather some crystals. So let's get started on that. I think, okay, so in game, if you go to your carrot and go to character and go to allegiances, do you have anything there? Because I don't know. I like, yeah. I don't know where the barriers, where the borders are, as it were, between like free to play and VIP stuff. I mean, I know, but I forget. And then I can't remember where the barriers are between available content and purchased content. So I'm not sure if the allegiance system is, if this, and especially this one specifically, is subscriber content or not. I think before I was looking it up though, so there might be some thing in here. Agartha points out that there's one called Sorceress, and it tends to be the fastest mission of the set. Intense but fast. Okay, so we'll be prepared for that. Okay, oh, there's a crystal over here. I'm gonna go start mining it. Okay, so B4 says this allegiance group, came with the Fate of Gundabad expansion. So you might have to have that, purchase that to participate. Oops, sorry, I'm getting attacked. I wasn't even paying attention. Hi, attacking things. Let me switch over to something a little bit more fighty mode. There we go. So my hope is, though, people who have thought about like performing music in LOTRO but have never done so might, you know, take this as an opportunity to try on Treebeard. So that's kind of my hope. Yeesh. Oh, I'm still in combat with something. Maybe I dragged something with me. I don't know. Oh, right, we have a nest, or they're just gonna keep coming out, probably. Hey, let me just hit that instead. Maybe we'll get fewer of them. Alright, cool. We got rid of the nest. Oh, there's another spider. What? Sorry. I didn't see it. Alright. Here, I'm gonna stand still because, I'm a hunter and I hit things. And get us into combat when Phil's trying to do something that's not combat related. Okay. So, Affidil's a minstrel, and as a minstrel, he's got some choices that he makes where he'll be like in a fighting stance or a healing stance. And we were doing something kinship stuff last time. So anyway, Affidil was in healing stance. And that's, right, we were doing the Rift of Zhélruka Clan. We hadn't done, okay, so it's a level 50 instance, adventure, dungeon, however you want to put it, raid. And so there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And we completed it on tier 1 on level, like when we were level 50, so that was fun. And then we also completed it on tier 3, like not long after. But we never went back and did tier 2 for some reason. So that was just sitting there in our deeds, uncompleted. So as you know, we like to complete our deeds around here. So we were putting together a group to do that. And so when you do a raid like that, so like right now we're just running around, you know, doing whatever we want. Affidil's really enjoying the DPS mode, going in, exploding, yelling at things, making them fall down. You know, so you can kind of mix it up a bit about who's doing what. Like I'm just mining stuff, whatever. You know. Oh, good. Nice job. Oh, there's a crystal in the water. Let me grab that. But when you're doing a raid, you really kind of have the things that your character class is really good at. You want to really do that because, I mean, that's what they excel at, right? That's the whole point of playing that class is because they're really good at X, Y, or Z. Affidil as a minstrel is very good at healing. Me as a hunter, I'm good at damage. So I'm really good with the DPS stuff. Some times, though, you want somebody who's really good at crowd management, and hunters can do that a little bit, but I know lore masters were kind of like really good at that for a while. I'm not sure if they're still like the tippity top on that, or if another class has taken that on. But anyway, so you kind of specialize. So that's what Affidil was doing on Saturday. Was specializing in healing because we were doing a raid. I think we ended up with like 10 people. It's like it's a 12-person raid, so we didn't have all 12 because we're over level. It's a level 50, like I said, but it's still not just a walk in the park. Like there's stuff. Oh, we are missing 1 crystal and 2 nests. So I'll bet we will find some nests and crystals by Alcar. Oh, hey, you know what else hunters are good at? Is looking for things. So let me look for spiders. There we go. I think we're heading in the right direction. Oh, so Egarthur posted, and I don't think I read this out loud, that Gundabad, including its missions, are not free for VIP. So therefore, we must have it because we purchased it. So we did purchase Fate of Gundabad. Oh, that's it. Because I can't help myself. I like all the goodies. I'm not finding any crystals in this area. Maybe I'll do another search for spiders. Oh. Alright. Hey, they're in the area that you're headed to. That happens a lot with us, it seems like. It's like, search for a thing! Oh, I found it. I'm still searching. So, yeah. So, I'm laughing because some of the kinnies that are on are watching the stream and every so often pointing out something in the kin chat. I think the entrance was back this way, wasn't it? Yeah. Hunters are also good at taxis. And I don't mind, actually. I am over the moon with the travel skills that I get as a hunter, and so I am very happy to share my travel ability with others. In fact, I'll do that sometimes, like if I'm, I don't know, at a like there's a festival thing, I think I mentioned this last time, where during the Halloween theme festival, a Harvest Fest, there's a storyline where you could end up like kind of north of where all the stuff is happening. And so as a hunter, I find it easier just to travel back to the campfire, which is at the hill. So I just do that. But if there's anybody else who's also obviously on that quest and has just gotten to the end of it, and I'm like, hey, would you like a lift back to the party tree? So, all I have to do is, like, you know, bring them into my little group. So you ran off. Did you go to talk to the prince? I guess I could go do that before we do some more missions. So yes, Aaron Bard says, I love two taxi fellows. Yeah, it's so weird because, hang on a second. So Prince says, thank you for assisting Ozma and Horan with the mission. You have done much today. Still more remains to be done. No kidding. For now, I will think on how we can make Vérnozal more inviting to all. Cool. That gave me some legendary item experience. Hey, by the way, there's a new legendary item experience reward track. It started up about 2 weeks ago. We may have gone a little nuts on trying to fill our stuff out. So level 50 is the legendary coffer of the Goose House, which I got to and I claimed it, and then I was like, okay, I don't need to worry about the rest of this. That was my the importantest thing that I was after. It was the Belangrijkst. Yeah, that's why. So, you know, in English, how you might put a you know, EST ending on something like the biggest, the fastest. So, I mean, in Dutch kind of has some of that too. Belangrijkst has it's a very similar sound. It's not exactly the sound, but it's close enough for me that I'm like, aha, I recognize the sound and how we do these endings. But sometimes you wouldn't say the importantest. Like, that's just not English. English doesn't do that particular word. You say the most important. Whereas you could say it in Dutch. So every once in a while it throws me off. And I try to do something in English that I could do it in Dutch. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not how I say, this is not how you speak English. So anyway, the legendary coffer of the Goose House was the most important thing for me in this reward track. And I got there and I'm very happy about it. 25, so basically every 25 or so, there's a thing. So there was a coffer of a seagull. That was on 25. I got that. The Goose House on 50, which is so awesome because it was available, I'm pretty sure, and before looked this up for me last time, I think it was originally available during the Midsummer, the very first Midsummer Festival, which would have been the summer of 2020, because it was at the same time that we were doing the Bombadil PvP server, which was just like a 1 month event. And so it was really funny because there was like different game servers were getting there. Somebody was doing hacking, like attacks, like DDoS attacks, and LOTRO was the target of one of those attacks, or SSG maybe in total. Anyway, people were being jerks and attacking things, right? So it was causing lag in the game because of all these crazy attacks that were happening, and other games too at the time. So there was lag hitting some of the regular servers, but on the Bombadil server, where there was like hardly anybody playing at that time, because it was like 3 weeks in to the event, and so everybody who was there to get, like, because it was deeds, completing a deed was how you got the points that got you onto the leaderboard. And so we had done like every deed we could possibly do. We're just kind of waiting for things, because you would have locks, like for the Rift of Nurse Gashu. So you can only, like, the Rift unlocks twice a week. So we would have like the first one, we would try the first time. So we were trying to do tier 3, and you know, like you fail or whatever. And like some people would have it done, but other people wouldn't have it done. But the people who had it done, you needed them. And so there was locks. So there was a lot of people staggering and waiting for others to catch up or to be available and whatnot. So while I was waiting, I'm like, well, I'm just going to go right around in Minas Tirith and do festival. So there was no lag. It was fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that's where I got my legendary Copper of the Goose House, which then I transferred out to, I think it may have ended up on Landreval. So anyway, okay. And then 75 is a legendary coffer of the Cardalan Adventurer's Cloak. So a cosmetic item. And then 100 is a legendary coffer of the Cave Slug. And it's the cave slugs that are like black with little green dots and have like the little diddlies on the front. The ones you find in the Rift. Those are the ones. Oh yes. Before... Oh, Evakaka. Ah, that. There we go. That's the cave slug. Tell me that's like a wacky thing, isn't it? Oh, B4 has posted both a link to the Zhélruka Clan Allegiance information on the LOTRO wiki, thank you, and also mentions, I think that's where you got sniped by a burglar in Minas Tirith. It is! During the, I was running around Minas Tirith doing the festival, and there was a burglar who, because it was PvP, so you could attack other characters, and there were safe zones, like Bree was a safe zone, so nobody was, you like, basically attacking was turned off in Bree, like in the city. So you couldn't attack other players in Bree, but you could a lot of other places. Like, oh my gosh, Estelden was hilarious. You know, there's places you can get up high in Estelden and see and look down on people, and you can snipe them from up there. It was fantastic. Anyway, so yes, I'm riding around Minas Tirith and doing festival stuff, and there's a burglar who was on the other faction who just kept sniping me. So finally, I'm like, hey, Guineas, anybody want to hang out in Minas Tirith and do festival, and we can watch for this burglar and take him out together? Because you end up back at the spawn point, which I think was just the front of Minas Tirith. I think it just took you back to like near the front gate of it or something. So you just went back to the bottom, but it was kind of funny. It was an amusing way to to make your way around Minas Tirith. Okay, so we have done Prince Ingor's thing. However, how do I open? Oops, I just closed it. That is not how you open it. All right, allegiances. I can claim a couple of things. Are you level 9 with the allegiance? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and claim this one, which has tokens, and it has a chapter 3. So let's read up on chapter 3. And then what's this? This one is not usable mounted. Oh, okay. No worries there. We'll come back to that. All right, it's Prince Ingor. What's up, yo?
I have given it some
He's
thought.
saying, okay, I've given it some thought. While the Zhélruka are a very kind people, I believe there are some who might think us impolite. Can you believe it? So that is why I have decided that all Zhélruka in good and bad must make every effort to do good deeds and be kind to the rest of the dwarves here, no matter how bothersome they may be. To that end, I want you to assist in making and presenting a great gift to the Longbeards. I have decided a gift of elegant Zhélruka blades will be just the thing. So gather some ingots, assist at the forge, and a number of Longbeard captains are set to visit soon, and this gift will demonstrate our generosity. Or it'll tell them that you think their blades are crap. I mean, one or the other. Maybe you could sell your blades and breed? No, they don't do that. Oh, I have a completed deed. Oh, right, we already knew about that. Treat. Okay, so let's find some goodies. Oops. Oh, we gotta go upstairs. Yeah, I'm just seeing a mailbox down here. Oh, it does say collect ingots near the upper forges. Okay. Anyway, I had a good time on the Bombadil server. There was definitely a learning curve for me because I started playing like MMOs or MMO style games like by myself, video games by myself. And I didn't do a lot of like group questing because it's just, I mean, like it wasn't, games didn't support it. And what I did play in group stuff, like at one point I was playing Diablo 3, and there was some online stuff you could do with other friends, but our schedules were off a little bit, and it wasn't like, I don't know, it was kind of janky anyway. And you had to be like on the same, you had to be playing on the same kind of console, so like if you're on a PS3 and they're on a Xbox, you couldn't play together. Like there was some weird stuff. It was annoying. So anyway, I didn't end up playing together a lot. So then starting to play on LOTRO, I was, learning new skills. There's one over here also, in between these pillars. So I started learning, oh, there's one over here. I started learning a whole lot about, how to use your character, how to do this, how to do that. Like, walking and talking and chewing gum at the same time sort of thing. So I had to skill up, basically, when I started playing. I didn't get the one that you went to next, so we'll go there. Yeah. But I was learning stuff, I'm learning how to like use my keyboard and click on this and click on that. And I was still doing a lot of maneuvering by, like, I was still using the keys to move my character around. Whereas now, if I'm, writing or anything really, I figured out how to use my mouse, which is a much smoother movement. I don't know if, I mean, just imagine the difference between like, bump, 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 and smooth movements that kind of take you through it, right? So I really struggled with things like, walking on fences, jumping from one thing to another, anything that required any amount of precision. Oh, cat, under your foot. Sorry, I just noticed the cat was walking under V4's foot right as he was about to move his foot into that same spot. Let's see, forge these Zhélruka weapons. We're looking for a forge. Hey, baby. Hi. She's been a little social today. It's very cute. And she's also covered in dirt again. Look at you. She's enjoying rolling around on this cement outside where there's dirt, because, why not? She's funny, girl. Oops. Let's see. I'm burning, but I'm smithing. Yay! We're on fire, yo. She's in the sun. Look at that. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. Yes, you are. Even if you are just like covered in dirt. Goofy. Oops. I'm smithing my fourth weapon. Alright, I have smithed 4 weapons and gotten some fire damage as well. Smythe? No. What? Alright, let's talk to Prince Ingor even though I walked
These
right by him.
blades are
These
of
blades
an
are of an
excellent
excellent make. They have not been
They
battle
have not
tested yet,
been
have they?
battle tested
No, I
yet,
will not
have
gift
they?
an untested sword. If just one sword is faulty, the gift could be taken as a treacherous act against the Longbeards. That's fair. The Longbeard captains will be arriving very soon. Hi, kitty cat in front of my monitor. Quickly, you must find some orcs and test out these weapons. Hang on, let me scoot this up so I can get to the... Oh, we gotta travel. Alright. Hi. Cat is now rubbing on things that she can find on my desk. You're a goof. Sure. Okay. I might move you. Because you're kind of in an awkward place. You want to come sit over here? Over here. Come here. She does a really good job of not standing on my keyboard most of the time, which I'm impressed by. Casper, the other one, he is less elegant. He will stomp right on it. Let's see. Okay, we have to fight our way through the orc encampment here. Oh, right, because we're testing blades. Totally testing blades. Okay. Not sure where she's off to now. Okay. Oh, you don't want my cake. Well, even if you want it, you can't have it. I think she's checking out my little cake that I then cut in half and put some chocolate sprinkles in the... Yeah. Okay. It's not cat food, honey. Yeah. I thought you would probably get bored of that if you actually smelled it. That's what I figured out to do with the cats. Oh my gosh, why do you think this is different? It's the same thing you just smelled. It could be different. Oh, maybe you do want it. Well, okay, then I better eat it. Here. All right. I figured I'd turn off my microphone so y'all didn't have to hear me scarfing that down real quick. Yes, Sandy mentions about how she spends a big part of her day saying, kitties don't like yogurt. Kitties don't need bacon. But yes, the kitties rarely agree. Kitties don't need to sit right in front of my monitor. The kitty does not agree. Oh my goodness, look at all this dirt you got on my desk. What do you like? Huh? What do you like? You're so funny. Yes, sounds like something a not cat would say. Dun, dun, dun. Of course we need bacon, says the cat. She is in a funny mood today. She's a bit friendly, and she keeps following us around. Whereas there's often times when she's just like, yeah, whatever, humans. Have you got anything for me? No? Okay, I'm out. Oh, hey. Well, I think we're testing these swords quite well. So, Aaron Bard says something about a voice actor sounded like the Centauri off of Babylon 5. It's quite possible. It could be the same person. There are a lot of voice actors who get around and do different, enjoy lots of different jobs and genres, which is kind of cool. So, and Dame Hypatia said, I'm definitely a jump and fall type of gamer, and you're glad that LOTRO rarely demands it. So yeah, so funny thing. Okay, so I was getting into playing Hunters. I was really enjoying it after testing out a couple of other things before that. But anyway, so I was playing a Hunter on Bombadil, and characters could attack other characters. So, especially if you had to pick a faction, and if they were on the opposite faction, you could attack each other. So that was really interesting. And so, you know, you have a style of play that you use against the monsters in the game because, you know, they have a certain, you know, they're slow in this way, or, you know, you can like shoot them and then stand behind a wall and they'll be like, oh, I have to come and find you now, you know, and like there's ways you can work with their internal pathing, right? Whereas a human, yeah, they got their own style. They have different ideas about this sort of thing. And they have the same kinds of like really strong abilities that you have. So that was really interesting to be like trapped by another hunter. You know, somebody doing a rain of arrows or heart seeker on you. Like that is really an interesting thing. And then, yeah, trying to defend against burglars with all their stealth and the things that they can do. So that was, yeah, it was really interesting experience, and I really had to like step up my game in order to not just spend every minute, you know, being knocked out and sent back to the res circles, you know. And of course, if you're running with other people, you don't want to let them down. You don't want to be a weak link in that, right? So you're trying to like, well, okay, well, what can I do better? How can I be better at this? How can I support my team better? And so that's where I was. And I got, one of the things I learned is that if you stand still, other players are really good at hitting you. So don't stand still. So that was a new skill for me. Oh, we have to find an orc captain. Okay. Hey, I bet we can summon him with this horn. He approaches. Yeah, so I ended up trying out Hunter Blue Line because it, yay, we defeated the good and bad Pit Lord. Hey, Zova, what up, yo? Blue Line on a Hunter allows you to still do a lot of damage, but not as much damage as Red Line, but that's okay. Oh, here we go. She says that I would say every one of those blades held their own in combat. We should return and inform Prince Ingor of our success of the day. Okay, let's do that. Oh, Aaron Bard was saying something. Is anyone else find the toes in the air orc deaths as funny as I do? I like the trolls when you bop them like in the troll shows or other places, and they're like, oh, and they like, you know, like you've hurt their nose, and then they sit down. I find that one funny. Okay, so let's see. Oh, we're not talking to Orin. No, not yet. Right, we're going back to the prince. Okay, got it. Prince Ingot. Sandy says, after 2 years, I have found the joy of Blue-Red Hunter. Yay! I always hated not being able to move and shoot. Yeah, so that's the thing. For those of you who haven't played Hunter or aren't familiar with how it works out, so basically, in your character choices, you will pick a thing that your character focuses on. And so it might be this side, which has this blue background, this one which has this red background, and this one which has a yellow background. And so that's why we have our blue line, our red line, and our yellow line. That's why they're called that. So in the game, the way it works is you can only pick one as your like main options. And within that, as you level through that, the stuff on the side becomes active for you. So like once you've leveled up a little bit, then you get this thing called Swift Release, which reduces the inductions of a couple of skills I have called Barbed Arrow and Swift Bow. So it makes them 25% faster through the induction, right? To get through the induction. A little bit later I got Shoot to Kill, which increases my ranged damage. So I have an additional 5% damage when I do a ranged attack. And so forth. So you unlock these various things. Well, those things on the side are only available to that particular line that you're in. So I'm on the red line here. Now you do get 2 tabs. So this is tab number 1, and if I show you tab number 2, yes, I'm fine with that. Because we had to respec. I forgot about that. Let me go ahead and just grab a blue line. So let me throw some points in here real quick. Range damage, that looks great. Damage for bow skills, that Do focus, sure, that sounds great. And so you'll notice as I go through how it unlocks like the next level. And I got this thing over here, knock on the move. So it reduces the induction movement penalty. So things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. I'll save those changes real quick. Let me wave hi over here. Let's see. Did it work? I hope it did. Oh yeah, there we go. So now I can go back to the previous tab that I had, and I'm going to do that. But so anyway, I just wanted to show you that, yeah, there's a different set of skills on the side here because of the blue. If I'd chosen yellow, it would be yet a third different set of things on the side. So I'm going to go back to one. Oh, and real quick note, actually, let me cancel that for a second. When you switch your bars, everything that you've put on your bars, 1, 2, 3 here, that changes. So you can assign a different set of things for each one. So I've actually known people, who've done basically like the same color twice on the 2 bars, but they have a different configuration because, when they're doing this, they like to do that, but when they're in that kind of situation, they like the other thing. Now you can't switch in combat, so it's not that agile, but maybe you're like, oh, hey, we're gonna go do this, I'll switch over to my blue line. Oh, we're gonna go do this, I'll stay in red line, that kind of thing. And you notice I could just flip-flop back between them. There's a cooldown of, I don't know, like a minute or something between the 2, so I can't just be like, bop, 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 bop. I have to wait a minute, but then it's available again. So it doesn't take that long. Now, you can spend points in the other colors. So like this one, I'm focused on red, but I can spend points in the blue and in the yellow. But instead of things costing 1 point per step, they cost 2 points out of your class trait points that you have. So so you can still get in there and use stuff. So what some people do, so with the red line, most of the skills that you have to stand still. There's an induction, you have to stand still, and then it shoots them and hits them really hard. Yellow line is very similar. You have a lot more traps, so you can like control what's going on around you, but you still, for the things where you're doing, a lot of it has inductions, you have to stand still. The huntsman, the blue line, is very agile, very flexible. You can run all over the place. Basically, that's your hunter on the go. And so if you are doing something where you need to be able to move, a lot of people will choose the blue line for that. And so that's what Sandy's talking about there, is that she was in blue line probably, but using stuff out of the red line that's really effective. And so you just have to stand still for some of that, but you could be really active and agile for the rest of the blue line stuff. So there's some really nice combos that you can do there. So let's see. Oh, Moobot let us know that, Moobot, the current buried treasure event ended at 3 o'clock this morning Eastern time. Wah, wah. So, but the link to Fibro Jedi, though, is always good to see. Fibro Jedi is a member of the LOTRO community, plays LOTRO, and has created a website full of really handy articles and guides and, excuse me, a lot of really great stuff. So, if you are ever looking for anything LOTRO related, he's got some fantastic stuff there. So definitely, yeah. Pop over and take a look at his website anytime. He definitely focuses on the festival stuff, or at least that used to be like kind of where his focus was, but he's really branched out into a whole lot of other things now, including like he's working on some Slayer deeds and like where to find this, that, and the other, and like, yeah, very, the sort of thing is like, oh my gosh, I'm hunting for this thing and I can't figure out where to find these things. Like he was probably putting together a guide on that, or has already, so that's worth definitely taking a look at. All right, Prince Ingor wants to talk to me. So let's take a look. He says, every weapon is perfect. Good. The Longbeard captains arrived while you're away. I have kept them busy with a tour of Vérnozal. Now go and present them with the exquisite blades of the Zhélruka. Okay. You think that's a good idea? Let's see, where are they? They are up. And are they ones on the other side up as well? Yep. I am unsurprised by this turn of events. All right, so we're gonna go find that staircase again. Hey, it's right over here. Starting to get my way around here a little bit. So Palmela says that Yellow Hunter does eventually get the ability to move and shoot once they've completed the skills in the leftmost column. Oh, that's cool. So what I've ended up doing is I have not yet played Yellow Hunter through up to higher levels. Like on Treebeard, what I ended up doing is in the early levels when we were getting our butts kicked because we put ourselves on Deadly +0 like early on. We did it all like right out the gate. We didn't wait till we were like level 10 or anything. We did it starting like level 3 or 5 or whatever it was when we came out. Oh, hang on, I gotta give these guys a sword they're not gonna want. Oh, already in use. Let me try that again. Which one? Oh, if you've done them both, maybe I can do them now. Let's try it again. Okay. And hello, visiting captain. Okay, let's go find the other side. Cool. So anyway, so I was playing Yellow Line at first, and doing a lot of traps, and that gave us the ability to distract the things that were attacking us, and long enough that, you know, we could then attack them back and survive. So that worked out. That worked out pretty well. Let's see, do we need to go back and tell him? Oh yeah, talk to him. Yep, there it is. Whee! Oops. Yeah, I'm a bane of the White Wizard. I clicked on myself by mistake. Alright, here we go. Hey, Prince.
I see
that they were quite honored to receive such tokens of friendship. Aww. My decree that my people should demonstrate extra kindness is already seeing results. Now, more dwarves than ever will rally to our cause and work to reclaim good and bad. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, cool. Rock on, man. Let's see, what is this? Mission. The Handout. Huh. Apparently I have a mission. For the Shadow. I don't look at that later. Let's see. We're working on missions. We need to work on missions in good to bad. I do want to continue working on that though before we. Oh, but hey, do we have another chapter? With this guy. Let's see. So I'm on. Yeah, so I claimed that one. I do have a next chapter. Oh, hey, there's a cloak of ceremonial cloak of kept promises. Oh, that's cute. That looks like a hammer. Well, I think I do. Let me check. Let me get back in there. All right, so let's see. And then 11. Oops. Let's claim 11. Let's get some tokens. Cool. And then, let's see. Can I claim 12? Oh, not yet. I can't get to claim 12. Okay. Hey, but do I have any boxes? I do have a box. Okay, so let's maybe go do some missions first. Because I wouldn't mind knocking out that 5 daily at least. Let's talk to Horan. Hey, Horan. How about drive a wedge?
Only a Drak shows mercy in battle.
He says, my scouts have come back from a scouting mission in the mountains above. A group of Frost Horde hobgoblin emissaries were seen creating a series of ice pillars spread around the area. The pillars seem to have been emitting a frosty aura. So we're going to enter the mountain pass, defeat the Frost Horde emissaries, and destroy the ice passage in the mountain pass. Okay. Just a few things. We got it. I didn't hear anything about golf, though. So I'm missing out on it. Yeah, so the Yellow Hunter, there we go. Drive a wedge. Whee! Excellent. Thank you for that demonstration. That's more of a chip. And there's your butt. I don't think I've actually, have I gotten those yet? I can't remember. Hobnanigans is how you get those emotes. So, in case you were curious. Alright, so where are we at? Oh, Yellow Hunter. Yeah, so I used the traps and stuff for that. And there were a couple of raids, I think, where Yellow Hunter was really helpful. But that has since changed, I guess, so I don't know. Anyway, so once we got past, I can't remember what level, but we kind of got like into the 20s, I think, or so. Then the yellow line was good, but I think I switched to blue because I needed the flexibility to move around. Like for these things, these boxes were super deadly at that time. And I needed something that gave me a little bit more flexibility. Oh, I haven't been looking for things to destroy. But that's good to know that Yellow Hunter has more flexibility to move later on. So maybe I will consider doing a yellow line as my alternate on this one, because usually I do one red, one blue, but it might be fun to do one red, one yellow. And now I know I can ask somebody if I have questions. Hobgoblin. Oh, they didn't take them out in one shot. So sad. I didn't do all my stuff though. So. There's like a couple things you can do as a hunter. First of all, I could go what I call go invisible. Do camouflage, which gives me a 50% plus 50% ranged critical chance. I love do critical. I have a lot of things that have boosted my critical chances on things. And then after I've gone invisible, I can do a burn hot, where it adds another, it's plus 40% range damage and plus 25% range skill power cost, which I'm fine, whatever. And then I do improved focus, which, oh, you got it. And then we both stopped. That's funny. Improved focus, which gives me plus 25% range critical chance and plus 25% bow critical multiplier. So basically, I just, bonk, 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 all these critical chances. And then I'll do like a Heart Seeker, which is I think is my biggest attack, which does, at this level, between 7,000 and 10,000 damage, but with all those boosts and everything, it does better. It's great. I love being able to just like one-shot something. It's so much fun. So sometimes I'll do that, like all those boosts and buffs, I'll do that before I do like a rain of arrows if there's a whole bunch of things, because that's kind of fun too. Just watch everything fall over. Oh, hey, there's a stick. We did that. Awesome. Pamela says, I would be happy to help you. Yellow is fun, and your traps become ranged later as well. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I played with yellow at some point at a higher level, but I didn't stick with it because I seem to recall being able to throw my traps, or maybe that's early on. I'm not sure. I should play around with that. Hey, Casper. Apparently the cats are in at the moment, not outside getting dirty. That's nice. Oh, that's all of the pillars that we need to do, so we gotta go back to the beginning. Okay. Yeah. There we go. So we have Casper on stream also, cat number 2. Oh, well, momentarily on stream. He's still on the cushion. He's just like a little farther out of sight. There we go. Hello. Yes. Smile for the camera. That whole business. Alright, we'll see if he gets a little settled in. He might do. So we did this before and we weren't sure, it's because it says regroup near the bridge in the mountain pass. So we weren't sure if it was like go back to the beginning or keep going and there was something at the end. But yeah, as it turns out, they meant the beginning, because what we did is we split up and one person went one direction and one person went the other direction, and we found it was the beginning. So now we know. Go back to the beginning. Oh, I missed, there was a whole conversation earlier, I think, about yeah, looking for the mounts for the treasure hunt that was just happening. Somehow I managed to get all the mounts on Rosenbloom here like early on. I'm not sure how I did that, like not this time, but like the time before, or maybe even the time before that. Like it seems like it's been a while. Whereas my character My main character over on Laurelin has one of them from a previous event and didn't get any this time.
In
Yay,
games,
everything's clear.
I allow for chance. I take no such risk in
Gold
war.
rush? Sweet.
There is much
Let's see,
to
okay.
be done, and little time for talk.
Nice. Oratorio's doing the, hang on, doing the loot thing. There we go, look at him. So this is an emote that you got out of one of the coffers that were just available. A little dancing while playing a lute thing. It's really cute. But anyway, so the mission that we're going to do is, so he says, we have recently unlocked the hidden vault of Agbash Cult. Okay. The vault seems to be filled with traps. Hey, hunter! Though I hope we are able to deactivate them all. Now it must be searched for treasure. You are to travel to the vault and search the hall for valuable treasures, but tread carefully. There could still be traps. Okay. Yeah, that kind. All right. Oh, hang on. Hey, send me away. Okay, here we go. Let me zoom back out. Oh yeah, so I can actually, that tree number 2 that I started mucking with. So I didn't get very far on it, as you saw while we were doing that on stream. I can choose this button down here, Respecialize, and I thought it used to cost money. Did it cost me any money? You've spent nothing refunding your trait points. Because I had assigned a couple. Maybe because I hadn't done much, it just didn't cost me much. I don't know. Alright, so we'll switch that over to yellow. And, oh, but I better put me back in red, because we might actually be attacking things. So, and I'll fix that yellow stuff later. Because I just realized I'm, like, all lost and stuff. Oh, this is when we have to pick up treasure and stuff. And we have a time limit, so I think I'm gonna kind of pay attention. We've got some wandering gloom waters in here. What are they doing here? I said, what are they doing here? And before it says wandering. Of course, what else would they be doing? That's funny. What a silly question. I think, did we split up last time or did we do this together? I can't remember. Let's see, I thought I saw, there we go, here's a treasure. Oops, no, this one. So we're picking up treasures. There's some gold bars. There's these valuable treasures here. Oh, and when you pick up a treasure, you get a speed boost. So I guess not that one. The little treasures, I think, give you a speed boost. It's kind of fun. Oh, that gloom water's gonna see me. I wasn't planning on combat. I was gonna let him be. Okay, fine. Yeah, that one gave me a little speed boost. Oh, but one of them is a heavyweight. It's so heavy that it decreases your run speed. And then the other one, treasure is heavy, minus 5% run speed. Oh, that's funny. I hadn't noticed that before. I have no idea which halls we've done so far. I should go south, I'm hearing. I see a treasure over there. I thought you were getting it. Uh-oh, no, I can go around this, I think. Alright, we've got 15 out of 20. Nope, that's not a treasure. There's nothing there. Oh, there's one over here. Okay. 17. Luckily, this is like very fellowship friendly. Oh, hey, there's a priceless treasure in here. So yeah, we have 2 priceless, which we've gotten. We need to get 4 valuables, of which we have 3 out of 4, and then regular treasures, of which we needed 20, and we've gotten all 20 of them now. And there's our last valuable treasure. Ta-da! Well, I didn't see any traps. Maybe. The whole room is a trap. Oh, because the vault will close. Maybe that's the deal. Excuse me. Agartha says regular treasures give a very temporary speed boost. The valuable and the priceless treasures slow you down until you exit the instance. So I've got 3 I have a minus 10% there. Oh, you know what? Because I keep flipping back and forth. So one thing to keep in mind when you change from one of those trait trees to another, it resets all things that you might have had active. So if you had like tracking, oh, your tracking stills, I'll just go like my run speed boost, find the path that you get as a hunter. That's the fellowship run increase, things like that. Those are, you know, you have to click them once you set yourself back up again. So my run speed, I'd forgotten to turn my find the path back on, because right now we get a 15% out of combat run speed boost, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play around with yellow a little bit. I might, yeah, I have thoughts. Anyway, I'm out of the mission. All right, so gold rush. I get it, because you have to rush because there's a time limit. He says, you found even more traps further inside? I'm glad that you kept your wits about you and were able to recover some treasure before the vault closed once more. This treasure will be closely examined, and I hope that we will have the vault open again soon. You have my thanks. You're welcome. All right, let's do Storm Swept. So my scouts have come back from one of the caverns that weaves throughout Gundabad. A vicious storm has driven snow beasts into a large cavern. These caverns serve as a vital pass-through to other needed resources. So enter the cavern, drive off the snow beasts, and destroy the slop barrels in the caverns. Okay. Well, we can do that. Sure, why not? And you'll notice that we're running this with 2 people. Even though they're missions, basically you can run a mission as a single person or as a 2-person, but it doesn't allow you to get any larger group than that. So even though it says solo on it, you can run it with 2. So that's really nice, because we enjoy running stuff together. So the funny thing is, because this is the Gundabad thing, expansion area that keeps sending us into Gundabad areas, and, you know, we're like level 75, and so it keeps saying, you know, you're in a place that's over your level. You have entered a restricted area and will be removed if you do not leave. Luckily, they don't mean it. They're just saying it, but they don't mean it. Snow beasts! I haven't seen these since like Dwarf Allegiance. I like snow beasts. Ooh, that would be a really cool cosmetic pet. Have a snow beast following you around. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe a little smaller, but still, it'd be so cute. I mean, if we can get the slugs. Let's see. Okay, yes, the snow-covered aurochs. Affadil just brought out a snow-covered aurochs. It's a snow beast. It's not quite the same. I like the snow beasts. I find them entertaining. Oh, I think the bugs are starting to come in. Okay, so after I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna go and close things up around here. Because I've got, like I said, I don't know if, earlier I mentioned that we've got a cat door to the outside, but the cats haven't figured it out very well. So I prop it open so they can get in and out, but that means we've got like just an open window, which is in general fine. But we do have a water feature nearby. Some would call it a canal, but it's not big enough to be technically a canal. It's just water. It's like a little mini river-ish. It doesn't go anywhere, is the point. Anyway, so we get mosquitoes. I don't like mosquitoes. They like me. I'm generally very much of a pacifist kind of person, but I will slay mosquitoes without much regret. And sometimes flies, because flies are really annoying too, and kind of gross. Generally, I try to not, you know, I try to leave the creatures alone, but those two gotta go. And we need more birds to just eat the mosquitoes. Like, that'd be fine with me. If no mosquitoes came in my house, we would have a nice treaty. I would be okay with that. But when they're in the house, Or if I'm outside and they try to bite me, I'm like, nope, it's over. And if they come near me, I assume they're going to try to bite me. So, you know, sometimes there's some preemptive strikes there. But yes, Pomelo mentions that the slugs are cute, and I agree. The little slug thingy that you had on. Did I get mine yet? I'm not sure if I collected that yet. No, I didn't collect mine yet. I got through 50, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put all these boxes. Because I need to find another character who needs legendary items, like, taken care of, because I have so much. I think my ancient script is full again. Yeah, it's at 9,500 out of 10,000. So, I need to find the next character that I can spend legendary script on and go through some of that stuff.
Only a Drak shows mercy in battle.
All right, so cool. We did the snow thing. Ah, there you go. Snowy barn owl. That's nice. The flow of water. Another snowy beast. The barn owl. Let's see. Okay, so the flow of water. The workers have returned from the old dwarf-made waterways, but even with their efforts, the waters still do not flow in the directions needed to bring additional fresh water to Matugard, which is a place they're working on. So we're to travel to Shalakam, and work to assist redirecting the flow of the water there. While you are patrolling the waterways, will you collect any misplaced parts that the workers may have left behind? Okay, so shift the water and pick up parts that I forgot. Okay, got it. We're on it. There might be some gates. Okay. Oh, I do remember this one. I thought this might be this one. There's a door above, but I don't think that's where I'm going. Yeah, last time... Yeah, you were really good at figuring this out last time. I just would, like, run ahead and run through toads and stuff, and then leave you to shoot them all. Which may, you know, be kind of not what I should do. I'm like, I'll gather. I'll be the prey. That's right, somebody's got to find the toads. I can do that. Let's see. There's a lever, but it's up. Yeah. Nice. So we have to go around opening levers, which then open up gates and allow us to get to the next place. I don't see how that's redirecting the water, though. Like, we're just opening a gate, but the water could already flow through the gate. Let me grab this gear. Someone left a gear laying in the grass, in the dirt. The debris. Ooh, you just got punted by that snapper. There we go. I find the creatures that can, like, boot you up into the air, I find that hilarious. Let's see, I collected another gear that was down here. Oh, there's a gate. Can't get through it. Excuse me. We've been, I mentioned earlier, trying to get out and walk every day, and we're walking further than I'm normally used to walking, on purpose. Trying to just, you know, build up some endurance and whatnot. But I'm finding that I'm tired. It wears me out a little bit. So I'm like, I want to go and talk to somebody about doing some volunteer work here in the Netherlands so I can spend time around people speaking Dutch more often, basically. It would be really useful. And there's a place down the street. I just opened this gate here, by the way. And there's a place down the street where I should be able to do some volunteer work. But I need to go talk to them. And they might be available tomorrow morning. I should double check the email I have. But I've been kind of like putting it off because I'm like, now I'm tired all the time. I don't want to take on more stuff when I'm tired. I don't want to commit to something and then be like, I am worn out, I'm sorry. So, yeah, just adding more to my plate sometimes is a concern that I have, but I think it'll be okay. What? This deep toad wants to hit me. Oh, I'm leaving. Up my protein intake, says Aaron Bard. Oh, keep up. Not upkeep, not keep up, not add to. Well, you know I got that yogurt with the chocolate sprinkles, so there we go. It's so cute. So the chocolate sprinkles here, the Hagelslag, it's not always gluten-free. Like, flour is an amazing binder. Does a fantastic job of holding things together. There we go. Before, chocolate does contain protein. We're set. So yeah, so not all the Hagelslag is a good idea for me to eat. But they've had this box that recently came out where the chocolate sprinkles are quite sizable, and so you get a really nice chocolatey flavor. And then also they've got, so I've mentioned this before, but I find it amusing every time. One of the grocery stores here, Albert Heijn, they have like their mascot, and it's a little hamster, because the Dutch, oh yeah, kabam. So the Dutch word for hoarding, like having a lot of stuff, especially like if you're grabbing a bunch of groceries and all that, is to hamster, basically. Hamsteren, which sounds very much like hamster, of course. And so it's easy to put those two together, like, you know, grabbing a lot of stuff and hamster goes together. So their mascot is a hamster, and he's terribly cute. In fact, I have one nearby. Oh, let me see. Point him out to you. Well, you might not be able to see him too clearly, but on the table behind me, he's wearing a t-shirt, is a little hamster guy right there. Well, I have a stuffed hamster. That one, he's wearing a football on his head because it was football season, and yeah, it was just cute. They were, every once in a while, the grocery store will sell little stuffed versions of these guys, and I will sometimes partake of that. So there's a, like I have a little backpack that's a little hamster version, all that kind of thing. Anyway, so the Hagelslag came out, it had little chocolate colored orange, but little hamster faces in with the chocolate Hagelslag sprinkles. So I'm like, and it's gluten free. It doesn't have any flour, any glutinous flour in it. So I was very excited, and it was a new product. So I'm like, all right, well, let's get two, because if one's gone, I want to make sure there's a backup in case they're like, that wasn't a very successful product. Let's not do that again. So, and then I was like, you should get another one of those. Just, yeah. Oh, and Dame Hypatia says it's the same in Germany. That hamsteren, excuse me, is the German verb for hoarding also. So it was fantastic when
in games,
we had
I take no such risk
now the pandemic itself wasn't fantastic, right? But when they would have press conferences here with the Prime Minister and the Health Minister, and they had people doing sign language to make sure, you know, everybody was understanding what all was going on. And so sign language is often not like word for word. You don't always take a sentence and translate it exactly. Sometimes it's you know, you translate what's going on, and so like the hamsteren, it's the signing for it is the same as like being a hamster, and people would tune in. I think before it's gonna try and grab a clip of the sign language lady trying to doing the action, not trying. She was very good at it. She became like a little nationwide celebrity for a short period of time. And so they were basically saying, please don't hoard, you know, the toilet paper, the milk, whatever it is, you know, make sure because if everybody takes just what they need and what they're going to need in the short term, there's enough for everybody. which was the case. So they were basically trying to say, please don't just hoard things. Like, make sure we leave and share. So neat hamsteren, don't hamster, don't hoard. And again, it was great. It was fantastic. Yes, I gotta look. Yeah, neat hamster, and she does like the face expressions too. It's amazing. It's so good. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's up out the other way. And Arthur says the collective noun for a group of hamsters is horde. So you could have a hoarding horde. That's excellent. And if you had a bunch of hamsters who were collecting, you could have a horde of hoarding hamsters. A horde. You could have a horde of hoarding horde. You could have a horde, yeah. Or is it a hoarding horde? Anyway, next mission. The sorceress. This is the one that Garth was mentioning earlier. My scouts have returned. An Angmarim sorceress has taken refuge at the top of the tower. This cannot stand. We must return to Tur Agal and put the stop to whatever this vile person, I don't know what that word is, has planned. If the reports are true, Kalaminog, that's the person's name, is another student of the shadowy Galak-chan, who's somebody else we haven't met because we haven't been doing this area yet. Okay, here we go. Travel now. Here we go. I hope you all enjoyed that video. It brought delight to many people in the country. Oh, I remember this. And outside the country too. Like, people were very delighted with it. It was fantastic. This is familiar. Oh, I think we just attack her and just withstand her. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Here, have a trap, lady. Time to test the skills I have learned upon you. Galak-chan will be pleased. I'm guessing the answer would be no. Oh, right, she disappears and then we have to keep, like, attacking various things and stuff. We got spiders, and then she'll be back. And then she sends, like, giants, and then she comes back. She's one of those. Yeah, these, so for those of you who haven't played on Treebeard or Shadowfax, what you're seeing there with the fire explosion stuff. And here, see, so there's a box that showed up right where I was, and then moments later, and then there's a larger box around me, and then moments later, within that larger red box, anybody who is in there who's playing on deadly difficulty or 0 or higher will receive that effect, which is that fire attack, and it takes about a quarter of your health. So, for example, I'm going to step out of it. So you notice that I did not get hit because I stepped out of it, whereas Affodil was still in it and did get the effect. Yes. Hi, honey. Welcome back. So yes, people call it an orbital laser blast. It's... What would you do? Doing over there. It has, though, to me, the same effect as the keg, the dwarves with the fire kegs. It's the same thing. At least it looks like it to me. Wretched fool, she says. Okay, see, so... They hit both of us. I'm excited. I'm really glad that it's coming to the regular servers because I have really been enjoying it on Treebeard, and we miss it when we're playing on other servers. So I'm looking forward to getting to play around with it, and I'm really excited that they've added like a whole side thing of like barter tokens and like reputation and stuff to do with it. I think that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting to try that out. Now, so I'm curious to see if the titles are gonna be the same. I'm guessing they are. So basically the way it works right now is you have deeds, and as you do them, you get, yeah, let me pause just a second here. Class race epic. Reputation, no, class. Okay, so for example, I have this adept of bows. So when I reach 130th level on this character, playing on hard or higher, then I will get a title, adept of bows. And it's account wide though. So all my characters on every server that I have, regardless of whether they're a hunter or not, will receive that title. And then if I'm playing on deadly or above, and I get to 130th level on a hunter, like this hunter, then I will receive the title Master of Bows. So you really only need one character of each class to do the title, to get the title, and then all of your characters have it. Oh, you're gonna go turn in the 5? We did do 5 missions, or 6 really, so. I see that you have completed many missions in Gundabad since we last spoke. You have done well to aid the Zhélruka and all those who work to reclaim the mountain home. I reward you for your efforts, Hunter. Well, hey, glad to help. Should we do one more since we can? We should not. Ooh. So here's the dealio. This is gonna be under deeds. What under? Where is it? Somewhere out here in the deeds. Maybe skirmishes. Oh, good and bad. Which one? Oh, Ravanian. Good and bad. That's Blood of Azog. Elderslade. Wells of Langflood. Oh, sorry, it's sticking out the side. So, Gundabad missions, I'm at 30 out of 37. So it wouldn't complete it for me. Right, but that's the one. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so remember how I was talking earlier about how there's like a collection of these skirmishes, these missions, sorry, that you get each day, and so today it's that list. And then tomorrow it'll be another list, but it's the same. It's always the same list within itself, and then it rotates to the next one, and it rotates to the next one. So eventually it'll come back, and it'll be this same list again. There are 37 missions total, and we have done basically all of them except for the last one here we're not doing, and another day. There's another day's series that we've missed, and that's 6 of them. So when we complete the other 6. On that one day, plus the one here, it will complete this deed. We're at max level, so it won't help us with that. I have, and I believe B4 does as well on Affodil, all of the virtues are completely maxed out. We're at 37 out of 37. There's no more levels to earn at the moment. When our level cap goes up in... It's like beginning of June, like June 5th or something. It's soon-ish. I could look that date up actually. Then as we level, we'll have the ability to, like, the virtue cap level will go up, and so then we'll get virtues. Any virtue experience we get will go into our virtues, whereas right now any virtue experience we get is just completely wasted. Like, it just goes into ether. Too bad, so sad. June 7. We go up on June 7, which is like almost a week from now. It might be a week from now because today is the 30th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A week from tomorrow. Yeah, it's a week from tomorrow. So, okay. So anyway, so I was showing you on the deeds. When we complete that deed, that Gundabad missions, you know, wrapper overreaching thing, we're going to get mountain marks. Cool. I'm going to get a title, and then I'm going to get 4,000 virtue experience. So it's really sad to waste 4,000 virtue experience, so we kind of want to wait. Yeah, we kind of want to wait. So that's what we're kind of doing. Okay, so let's see. Yes, Aaron Bard, the sacrifices you make for our education. Yeah, I'm happy to stand there and get hit by blast. Why not? So, so before was mentioning in the chat here that if you're at least playing on hard, and that music just got really loud. If you're playing on at least hard before you hit level 11, and you don't go below that, then you qualify for that first stuff that I was showing you before. Let me go back to my character. So the adept and the master, those two, the adept one. When I reached level 50, I got another one that was for hunters. So, so when you reach level 50, you get a title and you complete the deed. And when you reach level 130, you complete the deed, which gives you the title, a different title. And like I said, those are account-wide titles. So you just have to have one character succeed on starting it before they're level 11, so level 10 or below, and sticking with it. Don't drop. You have to do that. You have to stick with it. Oh, looks like my captions may have stopped. Okay, there we go. So, where was I going with that? So if I have hunters on other servers, I have other hunters, they don't have to worry about when they pick it up because they're not going for these deeds, because I have this character, I have Rosenbloom on Treebeard, who is actively working on those deeds. None of my other characters need it in order to get these titles, and that's the only thing you get is the title. Well, and a deed that you've completed, so you have the satisfaction of completing a deed. But really, it's just the title, right? So I can pick up this difficulty game on other characters, even if they're beyond level 10. They just won't be working towards the deeds, but they'll still have the fun of of enjoying, you know, the landscape difficulty changes and things hitting differently and all of that. So I think that's going to be cool. I'm very much looking forward to that. So Sandy asks, I assume the titles will only work on newly formed characters on the regular servers. So it's going to be the same thing. My understanding is that if you have a character sitting on another server, it's level 10, after tomorrow when they do the patch and bring in the update, my understanding is that you could take that already formed character that's below level 11 and go start the quest, and then you would be earning those titles. So I think my understanding is existing characters should be able to pick that up. Now, we have characters on Crick Hollow, for example, that are like level 20 something or 30 something, I forget what they are. And I was like, oh, we should start over with new characters, blah, blah. And before was like, why? We already have the titles. We don't need to worry about that. I was like, oh yeah, I just want to play with the landscape difficulty, and I want to play with getting the barter tokens and finding out what that's going to be all about. Because, you know, more stuff is cool. So yeah, so we're just going to pick it up from where we are and play like that. Now, Egg Arthur points out that Cordovan, who is the SSG community manager and was streaming on Friday and talking about this, he says Cord was a little unclear on whether landscape difficulty deed progress would be preserved on a transfer. And I think it's because honestly, I think they aren't certain if it's going to work, and that's probably why. Yeah, Egg Arthur says he seemed to indicate it was an unintentional effect. So the reason why this is in conversation is because Shadowfax is closing. And Shadowfax has this difficulty slider challenge deed session set as well, just like we do on Treebeard. And so characters are transferring off of Shadowfax and onto the regular servers now, and will be can continue to do so for the next few months. I see. Is it a thing? Let me double check. Moobot have a thing? Moobot has a thing. Thank you, Moobot. So Shadowfax is closing tomorrow. So if you have any characters on Shadowfax, woo, 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 public announcement, woo, woo, woo. If you have any characters on Shadowfax, log into them before the end of day tomorrow, because you won't have access to them after that. So, like, you know, if you have stuff you want to transfer, you know, put on this character and put on that character, and however you want to move things around, this is your time to do it. Now, after tomorrow, you still have access to transfer those characters off, but you will not be able to log on to the server anymore. So if there's anything you want to do on that server, like get stuff out of your yard and have this character transport it because they're going to that server, you want to do that today and tomorrow. But after that, your characters are still going to exist until August 31st. So you have all of June, all of July, and all of August. So you have 3 months in European, to get your characters off of Shadowfax. So when you go to the launcher, in fact, I can just show y'all real quick. I think I can show y'all. Let me log out. No, it's not there. Never mind. I don't know if there's an easy way to do this. Sorry. When you go to the launcher, and it comes up and it has like the list of servers, and you're like, oh, okay, I want to log into Laurelin today or whatever. And at the top, then it'll be like log in or go or whatever it says. I've done this how many times, and I still can't remember what it says. There's also a button on there that says transfer. So that's what you would end up doing. And there's a whole thing on LOTRO.com. In fact, there's like 2 pages on the information about how to transfer and how, you know, the steps to do if you want to pay attention to this, because you can do a series of different things. You can just transfer your character, which transfers your character, their storage, so their vault, so everything that I would have in my vault. And then you can choose to transfer your shared storage and your wardrobe. So you've got like all these different things to decide. So if you transfer the shared storage and the wardrobe, you can do that as one thing. Or you can transfer the character. Can you transfer a character without shared storage and wardrobe? You'd think I would remember, because I just did this with Anor when Anor closed. I mean, I guess it wasn't like last week, but because what I ended up doing is I wanted to send stuff in a lot of different directions. And I had built up a nice wardrobe on Anor. And I was like, you know what would be neat is if every server I have characters on had that wardrobe, had all those things that are in that wardrobe. Because I had different colors and dyed on things, and I had collected a bunch of stuff from festivals, and there were some landscape things that I really liked. So what I did is I cleared out my shared storage, and so there was nothing in it, and I had my wardrobe with all of its stuff in it, of course, and I did a shared items transfer, which includes the wardrobe and the shared storage, and I think one other thing. Oh, it also includes like the mithril coins. Anything in your wallet, I believe, that is server specific also goes when you do that transfer. So the first time I did it, I sent everything I wanted to go to whatever server it was, like Laurelin or Landerval, wherever I was sending that stuff. So then basically I had a clean slate. I had my shared storage was empty, and my wardrobe was full, and my wallet stuff was empty. So I knew if I did a shared items transfer, it was going to take my wardrobe and copy that over. It was going to send a like everything that's in that wardrobe was going to end up on the next server. So I did that to every one of the servers where I have characters. So all of my wardrobes now had all that stuff. Okay, so and then I went and transferred the characters directly to the places I wanted to send them to with the stuff that they were carrying. Okay, so I did that. So that's the sort of thing, like if you want to do that much, you know, manipulation, because I had accumulated some legendary server only items like the Stone Troll. So I had Stone Troll the first, Stone Troll the second, Stone Troll the third, and I wanted to have them on, I didn't have enough to go to every server. So I was like, okay, well, they're going to, so I had to split them between Landreval, Laurelin, and Evernight, and Crick Hollow. So I was dividing the stuff up between those locations. And so sometimes I would send a character, just transfer the character carrying that stuff. And sometimes I would do like a shared items transfer, so the stuff would end up in my shared storage on that server. And then I would sort it out later. And so then I was doing a lot of manual manipulation of where my stuff was going, where my characters were going. If you are not doing that amount of craziness, Like when we get to the point where we're doing Treebeard transfers, I have 13 characters currently on here. They're not all going to be doing really exciting, fancy things. I'm just going to be like, you three are going there. You three are going there. You three are going there. You know, that kind of a thing. So I won't, yeah, I could. So anyway, after tomorrow, when Shadowfax closes, you still can go to the transfer screen and say, I want to transfer this character to this server. You'll still be able to do that through all of June, all of July, and all of August. After that, you do not have access to those characters anymore. So if you have characters on Shadowfax, please go and get them and move them, because it'll be really sad a year from now when you're like, you know what, maybe I do want those characters. They're gone. You don't have them. It's too bad. So do it now. All right. So talking about the landscape difficulty progress you've made on a previous server like Shadowfax, is it going to persist? It appears that the answer might be yes if you wait to transfer your character off of Shadowfax until the landscape difficulty exists on the regular servers, which it should after the patch tomorrow. So, as Egg Arthur points out, those who already transferred their characters from Shadowfax might be out of luck. And that's unfortunate, because they can't go back and undo the code that has happened on those characters, is my understanding. Which is not, that's just too bad. Aaron Bard asks a good question. It says, what happens if the name of the transferred character matches your character, or any character, I will say, on the server it's going to? I'm rewording your question a little bit. Because the question was, what happens if the transferred character matches your character on your home server? This actually impacts everything. So if anybody transfers a character with a name, let's say, you know, we've got Hunter Bob, and Hunter Bob goes from server A to server B, and he gets to server B and there's already a Hunter Bob there. Well, they can't have two characters with the same name. So Egg Arthur points out you'll get a suffix, like a -1. So character Bob from A shows up on B, on server B. Character Bob is here. Now we have character Bob -1. Egg Arthur points out. So, okay, so the reason, okay, so let me explain how this came together. So you got Bob, now you've got Bob -1. Well, let's say another person has Bob again, also. Well, now we're gonna have, so they come in, okay, they're coming to server B also. So now we've got Bob, Bob-1, and Bob-2. And you keep doing it, and let's say like 22 Bobs show up. Well, now we've got Bob-22. So Egg Arthur says that there is a guy on Evernight who cheesed the system, basically, the transfers, and got Catch-22. So their name is Catch-22. Fantastic. Well played. So yeah, I mean, you can also do silly hijinks, like if you want to say you want to bring Bob over, but you don't like the name Bob, you really want Bob to have a different name when they get there, but there's not a Bob already here. So you go to the incoming server, like go to server B, create a Bob, bring in your new Bob, they're Bob-1, they have now a rename token. So you rename Bob-1 to what you really want them to be, and then you could just delete your other Bob. It's very silly. Egg Arthur says, I challenged him to get Fahrenheit-451. 452 characters it would take to do that. How could you even, I was going to say, how could you even have 452 characters, but enough alt accounts and you could do it. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So yeah, so you do get a free name change though, yeah, and that's someone mentioned on the side though that yes. So yeah, you don't have to be Bob-1 forever. You do get a name change token, and so you do have the ability to rename that character. You can also go and buy a rename token. Like if you aren't lucky enough to have a rename token coming to you, and you just don't like the character's name for some reason, because I've done this. In fact, I think I did it on stream, so y'all were able to see it. There's a character rename, and it costs you 995 LOTRO points. I think... No, I don't think I've ever seen this go on sale. And it says, rename any one of your characters. This item will be automatically consumed on purchase and can only be used on the game world where purchased. And the names have to comply with naming policy. So, yeah, if you want to rename a character, like I had a character from Bombadil, I sent to Laurelyn, and I decided that I actually didn't like both her name or her race. So I ended up doing both. A character rename, and a race change. So it was a little expensive over time. I didn't do them at the same day. But now she has a whole new backstory and everything, and it was great. Now, Annalith says to Egg Arthur that it actually depends on the activeness of the original name on the server. If they haven't logged in for over a year, they get the -1 and you get the clean name. But that doesn't actually always work. And Druidsfire can go into this a bit more, but because she has a lot of characters that she's been through the Anor closures, and I think she's got characters on Shadowfax. She's done this multiple times, and it was supposed to be doing that for a while, but I know when... Oh, and the Bombadil transfers too. It was either the Bombadil transfers or the Anor transfers that was not working. That if they hadn't logged in, that you would get the name. You were still getting the -1, and like numerous people would like submit a bug ticket on this, basically saying, hey, it says over here in like the information, if they haven't logged in a year or more, that they basically you then are able to get the name, but that wasn't happening. You were getting the -1, and you couldn't do a name change to get the actual name that you wanted. And basically they were saying it's not, you're out of luck. Too bad. The person who has the original name still gets to keep the original name, even if they hadn't logged in like 14 years. It was really a bummer. So when it's working, yes, you can get the name, but unfortunately it's not, I don't think it's working even now. So Dame Hypatia says, if a name isn't free anymore, I'll make a character. So if a name isn't free anymore, I'll make a character on Shadowfax right now and hope the other character isn't active anymore. I mean, you could try and see what happens, and see if you can usurp that name. And if so, then you could, I don't know. Yeah, you'd get a name change token, and I think you can use the name change token on a different character. It'd be risky. You could try it. I mean, if you're going to make a character on Shadowfax at any time, now's the time to do it, because you have today and tomorrow, and then they're done. So if you wanted to play around with any hijinks, now's the time to do it. Yeah, Anaphilis says, at least it worked for me twice on Laurelyn. I do know that it was working for a while. It just doesn't seem like it's been working recently, because I know Druidsfire did get some names that she wanted on servers that she was transferring characters into, because those characters' names were not available. But by transferring in a character, she was able to get the names, because the original name holder had not been active for a long time. So I know those shenanigans were available for a while, but it was not working either Bombadil time or Anor time, and it might even have been Bombadil, which is 2020. Because there was some frustration from people, I think, in that situation where they're like, I've done this before. Why is this not working? It's like, this is not working. So, okay. Well, I think we are about to wrap up here. It has been almost 2.5 hours. And my food is done in the crock pot. I heard it go beep, beep. I have a sleeping cat next to me, so, life is good. I don't know if you can see her. Sleepy cat. Oops, that's just a keyboard. There we go. I just barely see her. She's sleeping right here. Oh, she is definitely sleeping. She didn't even move for that. Because sometimes she'll pop her head up and be like, "Why? Why are you touching me?" Or she'll roll over. Oh, that's so cute. She'll like roll over and she likes it when you kind of rub her belly a little bit, which is great because oh my gosh, we had a cat before and she did not like that. The belly was most certainly a trap. You did not want to go there. Apparently, by the way, there's really good fishing to be had here. Reports are. Let's see, I'm hearing there's good flounder to be had here. And good, let's see. Oh yeah, wait, where'd it go? Oh, that one. Oh, fire-bellied darter. There it is. Wow, that's fun. That's a fun one. And we've got some golden mullet happening. So, you know, if you're hungry, apparently the Gundabad area is a great place to go for the fishing. All right, so I'm going to start wrapping up. If there are any questions, throw them into the chat. So yes, the difficulty thingy is coming to the regular servers as of Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday's update. So that's going to be exciting. I'm very excited about that. Very much looking forward to that. And remember, to get the titles, only one of your characters needs to fulfill the requirement of picking up the quest before they're level 11 and then sticking with it at that level or above. So any of your characters can do the landscape difficulty. Yes, it's true, Casper. I wouldn't lie to you. So yes, any of your characters can play around with it. You can bip around all sorts of levels. It's just the deeds you wouldn't have access to. Everything else you're going to have access to, is my understanding. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And even if people make fun of the aerial blasts, I like that it's what's that? It's an abstraction of, you know, how you're sticking up. You're a tall poppy, right? Like you're sticking out. You're being noticed, and Sauron's forces are on your case. Here, I'm gonna do a little dance loot while we close out here. Oh my gosh, the new crafting system, that's supposed to be coming. I'm not sure when. I was hoping it would be with this release, but I don't think it is. Oops. Hey, Arthur says, Sauron really cares about those training dummies and rubble piles. Well, see, the way I look at it is, it's not necessarily that's triggering the effect. It's basically like, you're an adventurer, you're out, you're making a lot of noise, and you're noticed. Yes, Sauron sends his regards. So you've been noticed, so maybe, okay, the rubble pile or whatever, the training dummy isn't actually attacking you, or is in this case, but I kind of liken it to, like, you know, so yeah, the birds are pecking at you more, or the goblins are more likely to notice you and throw things at you, or whatever, you know, so you've been noticed. You've made yourself not too stealthy, bud. So, you know, that kind of a thing is the way I think about it. So, all right, thanks everybody for coming along. Let's see, we have B4 coming up next, doing his plug-in along stream. Oh, we have a quick question though. Let me see the other. Sir Caramel, or Camel, says, sorry, I never played this game, but I'm a huge fan of Tolkien stories. Oh, you're in the right place, absolutely. So any tips? I'm downloading this game right now, and you are the first streamer that I ever saw of this game. Oh wow, I feel so honored. I love LOTRO, and I will tell you, one of the things I absolutely love about it, in fact, let me scooch out of here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second, so don't start your timer yet. Is the way that the game has replicated the world that Tolkien created. They've just done such a beautiful job in things. For example, one of my absolute favorite places in the game is the Shire. I love playing a Hobbit. I love the Hobbits. I think they're neat, and so just am absolutely in love with the Shire. So the game has, like, it kind of tries to be like a real world. It has a day cycle. It only takes 4 hours to go from, like, you know, sunset to sunset. But you can see right now it's nighttime in the game. And I just sent myself over to Hobbit and Bywater because I wanted to show you. Oh wow! Like, look at that moon. Actually, that's gorgeous. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my little heads up display so you can really get a good view of everything. So I went ahead and sent myself into the Shire because we have the party tree up there, and up at the top we have the burrow. So I thought it would just be kind of fun to pop into the Shire and show you a little bit while we try to answer your questions. So one thing I will say is the LOTRO community is really special and very helpful. So as you are making your way about the game, if there are things you are like, I can't figure out how to do this, like, I'm curious about to do that, does anybody have any advice about such and such? You're in a great place for it. You can ask on these streams, you know, put stuff in chat. You can ask in the game. There's a chat function where you can post something to, like, the world chat, and people will answer questions for you there. So you've got a great support system in all of that. Let's see. What was the question you actually asked? Any tips? Oh, wow. I mean, what has everybody else said so far? Analyst says, Sauron just has to follow the trail of crumbs to find the hobbits. That's funny. Let's see. LOTRO Market link is there. Oh, here comes the follow. Yay. Yes, Sandy points out, just right, Sandy there, points out that there are many YouTube videos with beginning tips to kind of get you started. So that can be a useful thing. Aaron Bard said, this is an excellent stream, especially for new folk. That is kind of how I approach it when I'm streaming, is that I try not to assume that everybody watching already knows what I know. And let me tell you that LOTRO is so deep. There's so many things you can do in the game, from, hey, how's the shortcut key work? Or how does the skill work? Or do I have access to this information? And if so, how do I find it? Like, all these sorts of things in every direction. There's so much that no one person can know everything. So never feel bad about not knowing how to do something in the game or not being able to figure something out. Other people are in the same boat as you. And so asking, you're probably also helping other people. So yeah, definitely feel free to ask questions. If you encounter anybody, because, you know, there's idiots everywhere in the world, and including sometimes in LOTRO. So if you encounter people who are giving you a hard time about something, or people who are just not being very friendly or helpful, ignore them. Listen to other people, because they do exist on some servers, and some servers have more of them than others. It happens. So hopefully you find yourself on a server that you're very happy with. So let's see. Is it, you don't know what race you want to choose, you just pick one without caring about the specs and meta builds? I would say yes. For your first character, pick something you enjoy. Like, if you're like, I really would love to be a dwarf, be a dwarf. If you're like, I think elves are really cool, be an elf. There's lots of really cool things you can do. Lorthal asked another question. Is it better to be on a VIP server? I've not started yet, but not sure what server to pick. You're in the EU. So yeah, there's, without getting into too much detail, basically when the game was first started, they had 2 sets of programmers. And so there were servers in the EU being done by Codemasters, and there were servers in the US being done by Turbine. They're all, because the world has, you know, evolved and changed. And so the servers all are co-housed now in the US, but the server programming still doesn't talk across. So if you start a character on an EU server, you can only transfer to other EU servers. And the same thing with the US. If you started on a US server, you can only transfer to other US servers. Transferring's not a big deal. Like, you don't need to worry about that. I'm just mentioning that in case in the future you're like, oh, I wish I had chosen that server. If you are in that same pool, you can. You can just, you know, move over. So that exists, just letting you know. Let's see. Dame Hypatia asks if Lorthal, if you are German, you are not. Okay, you speak English. So I'm sure there's people giving you advice on this. Let's see. Oh yeah, the LOTRO wiki. Just right. Sandy points out the LOTRO wiki is fantastic. It's just lotro-wiki.com. So much fantastic information there. Sir Carmile says 11 minutes and 40 seconds for the download. Yeah, it may be a little hefty the first time, but they've really done some fantastic stuff to make the patches go faster. They do a weekly restart on Wednesdays where the servers will be down for between like 1 to 4 hours. But the patch after that, it's usually really fast. It used to be a lot longer, but it's really fast now. Yes, and talking about, RB2711 asks, how do you talk to people in the game? Sandy has mentioned that there's a world chat. You know what? I can pull mine up. I keep mine hidden behind my face here because I don't know what people are saying, and so I don't want to give other people a voice on my stream. But anyway, so here's what world chat looks like. I'm on a server that's a little quieter than some of the others, and so basically what we have seen so far is like Affadil, who I was running around with, posted about we're having a 2-year anniversary party for the server. Somebody says good evening, somebody says hello there. So you could just type, you have to preface it with a slash, and then you type world. And if I hit space, now my prefix here has been changed to world. So anytime I type something here, it's going to go into that world chat. I have taken the time to separate my tabs apart. And I know you probably can't really see this very well on the screen, but I have one that just is world and nothing else. And the way you can do that is I created the tab, and then under the chat filters, you have all these different things that could show up. And on this tab, the only thing that is checked is world. There's a whole post that we did, actually that B4 did, over on I keep a website of LOTRO stuff. So over on lifebeyondtheshire.com, and I think he's gonna actually try and pull up the post and put it in the chat. Oops. There's a post on how to do this. So we'll give you the link there in a second, just so you can just pop that up and take a look. Let's see. Yeah, and as you can see, I mean, there's lots of people popping in and giving great advice here. So what I was going to say is I'm about to finish my stream. I'm going to step away, but my partner here, who's in the room with me, which is why I keep pointing over here, he's on his computer, is also a LOTRO streamer. He works on plugins, which are these fun little add-ons that you absolutely do not need to play with, so don't think that you have to. We just happen to really like plugins, and he's a software engineer as a day job, and so making plugins and modifying plugins is something he enjoys. So he's going to do like a 2-hour stream about plugins here in just a moment. But we're talking about LOTRO stuff, so you can absolutely stay here in the chat and continue asking these questions, and we can all continue answering these questions. And before we'll even take time in the stream, it's a LOTRO stream. It doesn't have to be a plugin related question. Anything LOTRO is fair game. So we can keep answering these questions as well. Because I'm definitely behind on catching up, but it sounds like some really great advice is happening. Yeah, I would say, I know somebody asked if a legendary server or a VIP server is a good start. I would say no. I would say start on a free-to-play server and then decide if going to a VIP server is the right place for you. It's a different atmosphere, but you don't have quite the same volume of people for various reasons. One is because it costs you to play on them. And so you don't necessarily have the volume of resources available to you on a VIP server that you might get on a regular free-to-play server. So that's why I would say maybe that's a good place to start, is on a regular free-to-play server, because then you have access to more people, more resources, while you're still kind of getting your feet in the game. Different servers have a different personality, they have a different flavor. So sometimes it might take a little time to just kind of find the place that feels like home. So you might make a character here, you might make a character there. For example, Landreval has a very strong music community where you can play music in the game. You can play songs and people create musical events, and it's really cool. And Landreval is very strong with people doing that there. They're also a US-based server, and the people who tend to play and be active on there are active during US time. So they're doing stuff at like 8 o'clock Eastern US time, and I'm in Europe, so I'm in bed. So, for example, you know, you miss out on things like that. If you like, now, yeah, and somebody I think points out that just because a server is an EU server or a US server, it doesn't matter where you are. It tends to be more people from that area playing on that server at the times when people are awake in that part of the world, but it's not a one-to-one. Like, you can play anywhere, anytime. It's no big deal. There's absolutely no big deal. Evernight is a EU server, just a generic, regular EU server. It's a very busy server. Sometimes they have like some lag issues because it's such a busy server. I play on Laurelin. It is a role-playing server, as I think some other folks mentioned. And you don't have to be role-playing on that server. There are plenty of people who don't. But if you want to engage in role-playing as a hobbit or a dwarf or an elf or a man, whatever, it's a great place to do that. I find on Laurelin, the pockets that you fall into are great, and sometimes the world chat gets a little weird. So just be aware of that on Laurelin. Like, some of my favorite experiences have been on Laurelin, though. So I think it's a fantastic place to be. Another EU server, let's see, I mentioned Evernight. Crick Hollow. Crick Hollow and Landreval both have some role-playing or role-playing light. You know, maybe like real-world stuff gets talked about. Like, someone might say, oh, my computer's having trouble. Like, you wouldn't say that, you know, as a Hobbit of the Shire. But you might say that playing a Hobbit of the Shire on, like, a Landreval because it might come up. So I would call it role-playing light, because sometimes that kind of stuff creeps into conversation. Whereas on Laurelin, in the groups that I'm in, we're very strict about it. Like, if you want to say something that's real world, you put like parentheses around it to let people know that you're talking out of character. Things like that. Sir Kamel is still deciding on a server, being from Brazil. So you're more likely to probably find people to play with if you play on a North American server or a US server. So that's going to be like your Landreval, Crick Hollow, Arkenstone is a lot of oceanic folks too. Brazil, you're more over there, so you might actually play EU though. I guess it kind of depends on when you know, what time of day you're playing. 25 seconds to finish the download. All right, chat. So we gotta help crowdsource what server we're gonna send Sir Kamel to. Oh yeah, and yeah, okay, so yeah, there's a couple servers that do PvMP. It's not technically PvP, it's player versus monster player, and it only takes place in a very specific part of the world. You can't do it anywhere else. It's just in the Etten Moors. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Like, that's a whole separate thing, but you might hear about it. That's all. Oh my gosh, right? Okay, so I think, have you, do you want to go ahead and start your timer? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll keep looking through the chat, and I'll maybe type some things in after I go off here, and before we'll be coming on here in a minute. There might be a small gap between us, so we can like run to bathrooms and whatnot. Yeah, there's a lot of great answers, a lot of great information here. So I'll jump back into the chat here in a few minutes. And I'm very excited for the new players. I hope you love LOTRO as much as we do. I mean, no place is perfect, right? There's little glitches here and there and whatnot, but I mean, overall, the people who put this game together and the people who maintain this game and continue to add new content and do all sorts of things in the game really have an affection for the game. They really care about it, and they really want it to be something to be proud of and that people can really enjoy and find a home in as well. And so the fact that that love persists in the game is fantastic. It makes me happy. So hopefully you will find that it's a good home for you as well. Okay, y'all, I am going to go ahead and bounce off here. But before we'll be streaming here, you can stay in the chat because we're just going to keep on the conversation. And he'll be talking about plug-alongs or plugins on his show. Is called Pluggin' Along. Yeah, he'll be talking about plugins and probably servers and LOTRO. And he loves to play minstrels. So if you want to talk about minstrels, in fact, that's a question in the chat, lore master or minstrel. I think minstrel is more new player friendly than lore master. We'll find out. Okay, we'll talk more in a minute. So everybody have a great time. I will be back next week starting at 11:30 a.m. US Eastern Time, which is 5:30 my time here in the Netherlands. So I will hopefully see you all next week. And in the meantime, y'all stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart. All right, we'll see you in a moment. All right, bye.